The Conjuring, Last Rites. This is the latest in the Conjuring franchise. Michael Chaves directs this one, and you have the Warrens. They are returning, and of course, that is Vera Farmiga, Patrick Wilson, Lorraine, and Ed Warren back at it again. This time around, it is the case of the Warrens that pretty much sent their whole family into disarray. So what happens? Well, inside of the things that they've been collecting and the families they've been helping, we get a little backstory of what happened with the Warrens some time ago that led to an event in their life that could have went one way, it went a different way, and it comes back, I guess, pun intended, to haunt them again. So, how do I feel about The Conjuring in general? I love 1 and 2. I really do. I think what James Wan did with those movies really worked. The spin-offs, the third one, they didn't work for me. They got more into the generic side of things. This movie, unfortunately for me, falls into that category. The things that work are obviously the chemistry between Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson. They're phenomenal together. I cared about their entire story, everything that they were doing, their back and forth between Ed and Lorraine. I really enjoyed it. I found myself watching going, okay, more of that, more of them, more of them. And then they have their daughter, Judy, played by Mia Tomlinson, who is involved very much in this story. Now, the stuff that's going on with her boyfriend, Ben Hardy, it's fine. It's like it's a new dynamic they throw in there. It almost feels like a different movie at times with the character of Tony trying to win over Ed Warren to get him to accept, and there's that. Then there's other things kind of happening with Judy, her trying to channel what's going on with her abilities, and her mom kind of telling her, hey, maybe you should do this instead of that, and trying to figure that part out. And the family dynamic, that stuff was fine. The stuff that started to get me to say, I don't know if I like this movie anymore, was the cliched stuff that keeps happening. Because while all that family dynamic stuff is happening with the Warrens, there's another family, as usually happens in the Conjuring movies, that is being haunted by a ghost or haunted by these bullies. These ghosts are bullies. They know that these families can't do anything, and they send creepy old lady faces to and scare the crap out of them every 5 seconds and drive them nuts and put blood in the sink and do all that. And they know it's like just it's like a prankster who knows that they can't get caught. And I'm like, you guys aren't as scary as you think. You're a bunch of dicks. So the side story with the family, when you obviously know it's going to come together with the Warrens, and that's really the plot of every Conjuring movie, is what I've told you, pretty much. It's the Warrens doing their thing, this family's happening, the family needs the Warrens, and maybe this one there's a little bit more of the, hey, we really need you guys to get involved, and they finally get involved type thing. That is the premise of it. The stuff that I don't like is the cliched stuff, as I mentioned. Blood in the sinks, jump scares, getting the music as loud as you can to give me a scare, to make you say like, oh, this is really creepy now, super loud music. I feel like every Nun movie had it. I feel like every Annabelle movie had it. The third one had it. It's like, it's just the same bits. It's like the family who keeps seeing, what's going to happen. All right, as the family is going through the hauntings, okay, one family member is going to see something really creepy. Maybe someone doesn't believe it, or maybe they do, because then it's going to happen to somebody else, and it happens to somebody else, and then the Warrens get involved, and then you can guess how it ends. The fascinating stuff has always been, and will always be, the fact that a lot of these cases are based off of real cases. Now, if you look into them, you look at certain things that happen, you look into this particular case, it's really creepy. I just feel that what James Wan did with the first two, in a similar story, just made it seem more unique, made it seem more fresh. This, as I said, I just feel like I've seen this particular movie, 1,000 times, regardless of how good Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson are. So it just was kind of, and no bad performances. All performances were good. Mia Tomlinson was good. Ben Hardy was good. Vera Farmiga, excellent. Patrick Wilson, excellent. I don't understand the rules inside of this. It's like, well, here with this particular thing, this can happen because the ghosts are this and this and that. But yet they can travel thousands upon thousands of miles to go after this particular person. Because why? How come? How are they able to do that if they can't channel it? The rules are all over the place. So it's clearly because they wanted to, again, without spoiling, they wanted to achieve a certain thing without going down a particular road. So they decided to make this choice. And I said, that doesn't make any sense for what you've set up previously. But anyway, overall, I just don't think that this movie delivered for me. I think that if you're just looking to go and see kind of a generic, horror film, and I think that's the other thing. I've had such great experiences with whether it's Sinners, The Long Walk, Weapons, that compared to those movies, this movie just really falls short. Now, should you compare it to these movies? I think inside of this genre, it's fair, because I think that there are certain standards that can be held in the same year, if that makes sense. So overall, I'm going to go 2.8 out of 5 for The Conjuring Last Rites. And I wish I could get it to 3 because of the great Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson. I just can't do it. So how about you guys? Do you want to see this movie? Do you care? Do you not care? Put your thoughts in there. Let me know. All right. I appreciate you. We'll see you later. You like coffee? I'll tell you about coffee. Check this out. I always get so excited to talk about Trade Coffee. I think you guys know that by now. They're like my favorite thing in the world. I love them. I use them every single day. I'm always using Trade Coffee. I'm always excited to get new bags, try new things, and they really are learning what I like. Because days are cooling down now, man. And so for me, the coffee routine shifts. I like warm mugs in the mornings when it starts to get cold here. You can get iced coffee in sunny afternoons. It really doesn't matter this season, to be honest, hot or cold. They recommend beans that I love. They do it so well. They roast them to order and they deliver them right to my door. It's like having my favorite cafe on standby without ever leaving home. I just look forward to it all the time. Trade is the #1 coffee destination in the U.S. for both hot and cold coffee drinkers. They've sourced the best beans from over 50 top roasters across the U.S., and you can tell. Trade's prices are on par with grocery store brands, but the quality, it's next level. It doesn't matter if it's smooth, cold brew, cozy, hot cup to start the day. And the best part is that you're supporting local roasters with every cup. It's a win-win. I mean, have you ever heard me not talk about Trade Coffee? If you've been listening to this show long enough, it's how I start my day. It's part of my day. It's the first thing I do. I see Trade Coffee in the morning before I see my kids. Trade Coffee is offering 50% off of a 1-month trial, but you got to go to drinktrade.com/Christian. That is drinktrade.com/Christian. Get 50% off 1 month. Drinktrade.com/Christian. I don't know what you're waiting for. Drinktrade.com.